Electrostatics of conductor means what actually? What actually mean by electrostatics of conductor means we are going to study the properties of conductor. What are we going to study actually? Properties of conductors. We're going to study what now, friends? Properties of conductors. What are the properties of conductors? Let's go by one by one. Okay, in a static situation. Okay, in what now? Static situation. In static condition or static situation, you can take anything. Okay, electric field inside the conductor is 0. In a static condition, what now? Electric field inside the conductor is 0. So if I take a conductor, imagine if there is an electric field is there, like we go in this way. Imagine if there is electric field inside. If there is electric field, what will happen? There must be a force, right? So as per equation F equal to Q times of E, as there is a force, what will happen? This charge will start moving. A moving charge will give us what? Electric current. But if you take a normal conductor, if you hold it without connecting to battery, okay, we never get a current, right? So that's the reason electric field must be what now? Electric field must be 0 inside the conductor. And the electrons inside, they are moving randomly. They are arranging in such a way that the net electric field becomes 0. Okay, sir, what if I apply an external electric field to this? Okay, let us see now. Like, let's say apply an external electric field to this. So if you apply external electric field to this, this is a positive end, this is a negative end. As we know, electrons are going to rearrange inside the conductor, because inside the conductor what will happen? Electrons can freely move, but they are not allowed to leave the conductor. So they'll arrange in such a way that all negative will become this side, all positive will become this side. Electric field will develop inside in the opposite direction. Okay, that is induced electric field, and this one will be equal and opposite. So net electric field become how much? 0. So external electric field equal to minus times of induced electric field inside the conductor. So if you take into the left hand side, external electric field is equal to, okay, is plus induced electric field must be equal to 0. So it is what we call now inside a conductor, external electric means electric field is how much now? 0. That is the first property of the conductor. Let us go for next property. Second property. As electric field is 0, is there any charge? Let us talk about electric field only. What is the, okay, then electric field outside there, in what direction? Let's see now. Okay, the what about the electric field now? At the surface of a given conductor, then it will be perpendicular to given charge, means given surface. Before that, one more point. Since electric field inside 0, what about a charge inside? Net charge inside. Tell me, it must be 0 or not? It must be 0 as per Gauss law. Okay. So then where is the excess of charge? The excess of charge will stay on the surface of the conductor. Okay. So I can say now there is no excess charge inside the conductor. Sir, then where will be excess charge? There will be on the surface here. If any excess charge is there, on the excess charge will be where now? On the surface of the conductor. Okay, so this is as per the Gauss law we can say now. See, if there is a charge inside the conductor, there must be electric field. But electric field is how much we got to know previously from property number 1. Electric field is 0, then the net charge inside the conductor must be 0. There is no excess charge inside. Where is excess charge? It is staying outside the conductor. So due to because of this excess charge, there will be electric field, right? How it will be? Look at that, the third point now. So the electric field will be always normal to given surface. Okay, electric field is always normal to given surface. Now I'll take in a reverse. What reverse? Normal means what now here? Perpendicular means we can say they'll make an angle of almost 90 degree with respect to surface. Sir, what if it is not perpendicular? Let's say now there is a conductor like this. Now let us take some point here. Electric field is not perpendicular. It is having some component now. Like this electric field is, this is a surface. Electric field is like this now. It is not perpendicular, it is not normal. So let us have a component of electric field. This is electric field. Let's say some of the components of electric field now. One component perpendicular to given surface like this. So let's say E perpendicular. One component is like this. Let's say what now? E parallel component. Okay, so now, of course, electrons are not supposed to leave the conductor until they find a sufficient energy. Since we are in what condition? Static condition. So there is no energy to leave. So, but they can move on the surface, right? Yes. So because of this parallel component, there will be a force, right, on an electron. How much will be the force? That is, force is given by charge multiplied by E parallel component. So this is because of this force. What will happen, students? Electron will start moving. So electron here, it is there, charge is there here, it will start moving. As it start moving, what will give us? A moving charge will give us what? No, electric current it is going to give. So since it's going to give electric current, there must be electric current, right, on the surface. But in static condition, we never find an electric current on the surface. So from this, we can confirm that there is no parallel component, only there is perpendicular component. So I can say electric field is always normal to given surface. There is no option at all. Sir, how much it will be? It will be equal to sigma by epsilon. That is the strength of an electric field on the surface of conductor. Let's say next fourth point. Since electric field inside is zero, right? We know the relation between electric field and potential. Do you remember? What is the relation between electric field and potential? Electric field is given by minus dV by dx, right? That we have proved. Electric field is what now? Negative potential gradient. So now, since electric field is zero, put E equal to 0. Okay, since E is 0, so what will happen? dV by dx equal to 0. So with implies we'll give dV equal to 0. So dV equal to 0 means what now? It is differentiation, right? It is. Then what will happen? Integration of dV, that is equal to 0. Integration of dV equal to 0 means V equal to constant. From where did I took, sir? From differentiation. I think you learned about differentiation. Differentiation of anything which is constant is how much? 0, right? So d by dx of 0 means what now? V must be constant, right? Do you remember this one? Concept of differentiation, Punit, in a mathematics? Sumant?
We remember, sir.
Yes, from there we have taken. From there we have taken. So it is a constant. Means what now? The potential means electrostatic potential is constant wherever, anywhere inside the conductor. Okay, so that I'm going to take now. There's a fourth part here. Potential remain constant throughout the surface, throughout the conductor. Sir, we got to know now. Of course, you said electrostatic potential remain constant throughout the conductor. How much its value, sir? Yes or no? We should know the value, right? Then its value is equal to what you know? It is equal to the surface potential. How much will be that much? Okay, throughout the conductor, and okay is equal to what now? Potential at the surface. Potential at the surface means at surface how much potential will be there now? Same potential will be there inside also. No matter where you find inside. It will be same potential. That is the fourth point. Okay, is that clear? There's a one more last point. Is there? What is the last point? That's we call fifth point, electrostatic shielding. What we call now? Electrostatic shielding. SHIELDING. What is electrostatic shielding? I'm going to take a small thing now. Since we know electric field inside is zero, right? Okay, I'm going to take a conductor somewhere here. Okay, this is imagine there is a conductor. Inside the conductor, I'm going to create a cavity. So you know what is cavity? Not tooth cavity. Okay, it is not that cavity. Like what a dentist says that a tooth cavity. What we call cavity only, right? It is tooth cavity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is not like that. It is not different. It is cavity means we are going to create a region inside the conductor. Like in this conductor, I'm going to create a region inside here. Like I'm going to write here inside this region. Okay, this is what we call cavity now. So inside electric field is zero. Okay, there is no excess charge. It means charge density also zero. And potential is what now? Potential is constant inside the conductor. So these three things are there. Now I want to have an instrument. I want to keep that instrument. Some design instrument is there with me. I want to keep that instrument. That instrument we need to keep in such a way that, in such a place that, okay, it should be free from electrical field influence. Where we can create, like where we can keep, like here we can keep inside the cavity. This is what we call cavity. So where there is no electric field, right? So if you keep that instrument inside here, that instrument will be free from electrical field influence or electrical influence. That is what we call electrostatic shielding. Means the region or cavity where the electrical field influence is almost how much? It is zero, or there is no influence at all. That is what we call cavity. Now my question to you, based on this fifth point. Now it is heavy rain is there. Raining it is now. Okay, lightning is there. Too much of lightning is there. Okay, now there is a, okay, you're standing here somewhere here. Okay, I'm not good at writing this diagram. Okay, but you're standing here. Imagine yourself. Don't compare with anyone. Imagine yourself. You're standing. Imagine now. You need to feel. It's raining. The water droplets are spherical in nature because of surface tension. They are falling on your different part of the body, like on head, on shoulder, on hands. Okay. So now here you want to get a shelter now. Here there is a tree. So this is the way my niece will write a tree. So I'm going to copy it now. Like there's a tree, and here is an umbrella. Like this umbrella, something is there. Okay, and there is here a nice chair is there to sit, and some any other things are there. And it is raining, and lightning is there also. And but here, this side, there is a car is there now. Okay, I'm not so expert in writing a car, but still there is a car here. Okay, so there is a car, there is a seat. Now car door we can open, we can sit inside, not an issue. So even though you sit inside the car or inside there under the tree, you never wet. Okay, completely will be dry. Now, since there is a lightning now, so where you are going to prefer? Where you are going to stay? Inside the car or under the tree now? And you need to give an explanation to me now. Why there only? Or if you are sitting under the tree, why there only? If you are sitting inside the car, where there only? Where you are going to prefer now, students?
Inside car, sir.
Okay, now okay, inside the car. Explanation for why not on the under the tree on the chair with what we call with what this umbrella with almost drinks, everything is there. What you want to drink now? Like cool drinks, cool drinks. Okay, but still nothing is there inside the car now. But still you'll go there inside the car. Students, you're getting my question? Murugendra, Nivedita, Purnesh, Priyamitra, Lohit, Sinchana, Ramya, Chandana, Manoj, Johnson. Well, I never heard your voice almost so many months, so many days, almost 3 months, I think. Johnson Akshay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank God, man. You spoke to me now. Hmm? Tell me, Raghavendra. So it is preferable.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell answer, sir. Answers, dear students, dearest students. Okay, of course, it is what someone said is correct. We need to sit under the car, inside the car, not under the car, sorry, inside the car at the safest place. Because look at now, this is car is now outer edge is made of metal conductor. So now what will happen? Whatever the excess charge is there, no, sir? All excess charge will stay on outside the conductor. So there is no excess charge inside the conductor, right? So what will happen? And these tires are there, no? These tires are made little electric in nature. So this excess charge will discharge to the ground through the tires. Okay. And these charge never penetrate inside the car. So this is safe to sit inside the car as compared to sit under the tree on the chair. Okay. So remember, from this concept, there will be one more question. Why? Or what is electrostatic shielding? Why you need to sit inside the car? The reason you need to give explanation over there. Okay, so these are some basic properties of conductors. That is what we call electrostatics of conductor. Okay, I hope that you understood this topic of electrostatics of conductor. Can we move on to the next topic then? Yes. So we'll move on to one more new topic. That new topic is what we call dielectrics and polarization. Okay, dielectric and polarization. Dielectric and polarization. So what is meant by dielectric or dielectrics and what is meant by polarization? Let us understand this. These are dielectric are there, no? These are non-conducting material. These are what now? Dielectric are what now? Non-conducting materials. Can we say as insulators? Means insulators also non-conducting materials, right? Like if I take a plastic, if I take a wood, if I take some other like glass is a non-conductor, right? Insulator. So these are what we call now insulators, non-conducting materials particularly, or we can say simply what now insulators. But the difference, you know, oh my God, yeah. But the difference, you know, we are going to use this material in order to increase the capacity of a capacitor. Okay, these are what now non-conducting material used to increase. Okay, non-conducting material used to increase capacitance of a capacitor. So now you don't know what is meant by capacitor. We'll discuss it later. Okay, so there are two types of dielectrics are there. How many types are there? There are two types of dielectrics are there. What are those? You need to feel these things now. Polar and non-polar. I'll tell you the examples also. First is what now? Polar dielectrics. Sir, what is polar dielectrics? So these are the dielectrics. These are the non-conducting material which possess which possess permanent dipole moment. Okay. So first point we can have, they possess permanent dipole moment. Or alternatively, what we can say now, sir? In this polar dielectric, center of positive and center of negative separated by some distance. Means they need to possess a dipole moment, means there must be a gap between the positive polarity and negative polarity, right? That's what we say. The center of positive and center of negative separated by some distance. Okay. Center of positive. Positive means positive charge, and center of negative charge separated by some distance. Some distance, what we call polar dielectrics. Sir, example for this, sir. So best example for this, what you know? Example is H2O. What is H2O?
Water.
Water, that what we drink daily, normal basis, that H2O. Sir, if I write this chemical structure of H2O, it will look like this, right? O, 2 minus, and this is H plus, and this is H plus. Okay, so I'm not so expert in chemistry like you people, but still, this is I think it is a correct answer, diagram. So where is negative charge, center of negative charge? Okay, let me indicate with a different color. Here there is center of negative and center of positive. Here it is in between these two. Now these two are separated by some distance, right? So H2O can possess dipole moment. What is dipole moment? P is given by either of the charge multiplied by distance between them. So any charge you can take and distance between them is there. So they possess a dipole moment. These are what we call polar dielectrics. Let's say now second type of dielectrics, what we call non-polar dielectrics. Non-polar dielectrics. What are non-polar dielectrics? Simple, opposite to the previous one. So they do not possess permanent dipole moment. They do not possess permanent dipole moment. What we call non-polar dielectrics, or we can say the center of positive and center of negative charges are not separated by some distance, or you can say a simple way, center of positive and center of negative are coincided. Okay, that's what we call non-polar dielectrics. Is that clear now? Non-polar dielectrics. Example for non-polar dielectrics, what now, sir? Okay, let's say example for non-polar dielectrics. Example, carbon dioxide, CO2. What is carbon dioxide? How are we going to write chemical structure? O, C, O, single bonded. So here, this is minus, and this is what now? 2 plus. Okay, if I take center of positive and center of negative below them, here it is center of positive and center of negative is same thing, right? So they are in the same place. Center of positive and center of negative, they are in the same place. So this is the example. R, hydrogen, H2 molecule you can take, oxygen molecule you can take. These are example for what now? Non-polar dielectrics. So this is about the types of dielectric, polar and non-polar. Is that clear to all of you now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, what we do, a simple thing, we take these dielectrics, we place in where now? In uniform electric field. What will happen? We need to see now. That's what we are going to do it now. When you take a dielectric, we keep in what now? In uniform electric field, we are going to induce a dipole moment. Okay, we are going to induce dipole moment, especially in the case of course, in case of polar and non-polar also, we are going to induce what now? Dipole moment. The process of inducing dipole moment per unit volume is what we call polarization. Okay, that's we are going to take a next topic now. Okay, let us see the next topic. Continuation of this one. What is the polarization? So what is polarization here now? Polarization, the process of inducing dipole moment is what we call polarization. How we denote this polarization? With the letter P, and it is defined as what we're going to define. It is dipole moment per unit value, defined as dipole moment per unit value. If I take that formula, this polarization will indicate P with capital P is given by dipole moment. What is the formula for dipole moment? Charge multiplied by distance between them divided by volume. I'm going to write what now? Area into length. Length means what here? 2A, right? So here, like if I take this one charge plus Q charge minus Q charge, this is 2A. Nothing but what now? That is equal to length L. So 2A and L is going to cancel. It will become charge per unit area. What we know, students? What is the charge per unit area? It is surface charge density. Do you remember from chapter number 1? Surface charge density, charge per unit area. That is what we call P. Okay, that is P, charge per unit area, surface charge density. Is that clear now? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
Yes, sir.
polarization. And there is a one more formula given to you, that polarization, that I'm going to give to you here. That one more formula for polarization is now P equal to this formula. Means polarization is directly proportional to strength of electric field. If I remove proportional constant, you'll get this one. This is what we call in chemistry, Xi. So what we call susceptibility. What we call this word? Electric susceptibility. Electric S U S E P P L I susceptibility. BILIT. This is what we call electrical susceptibility, and it is a constant quantity. This will decide the strength of the dielectric. Okay, whether how much is going we can induce a polarization in that, means how much we can induce the dipole moment. Okay, in the next slide, let us have a little bit introduction about this, like how it is going to introduce, means how the dipole moment is going to develop in a dielectric. Let's see about that. Okay, let's see about that now, and then we finish the classes. Okay, yes. Now we take an uniform electric field we are going to take now, and I'm going to have a conductor now. I'm going to have a conductor. This is a what, not conductor, sorry, I'm extremely sorry. And non-conducting material, what we call dielectric. And we kept this one in where now? Uniform external electric field. Uniform external electric field we kept. So this is a, let's say, applied electric field E naught. Now because of this, what will happen? Inside electrons are there, okay, but they are not allowed to move like a conductor, but they can shift their position a little bit. Okay, they can shift their position a little bit, so that because of that shifting, what will happen? There is an electric field is going to develop inside the conductor, inside this material, what we call dielectric. It will be like this. All negative will stay here. I'll take 3 rho and all positive will come this side. Doesn't mean that all has come this side or that side. No, it is like this one inside. It will be like this now. Okay, now here the effect is going to cancel. So these two effect is cancelled. This 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 effect is cancelled. This effect is cancelled. This one, and this one. Effect is cancelled. Only left here and here. So inside there is an electric field is developed in what direction? In this direction. What we call induced electric field. But here this induced electric field is not equal to this one. Okay, E naught is not equal to EI. They are not equal. Okay, there is a net electric field is given by what now? E net electric field is given by E naught minus EI. Okay, that is what we call E naught minus EI. So this is what will happen in the case of what now? Dielectrics. When you taken a polar, non-polar dielectrics. Sir, what if you taken a polar dielectrics? In polar dielectrics, they'll be oriented in a different possible way. Like if I take a conductor like this, so this is positive, negative, this positive, negative, this positive, negative. Let's say like this. Okay, this is oriented like this. As we apply electric field from outside, like this is an applied electric field now. They will start reorientation will start. They will start rearranging. So all this is positive side, right? All negative sided. So all will become like this now. This will become completely like this. It will come here, and this negative sign will become like this. This negative positive will come here. It will become like this. This negative is there. It will become like this. So they will give a permanent now. The reorientation will happen in the case of polar dielectrics. But still there is no equal value. Like there will be a difference over there. They are not equal. So this is related to what now? Dielectrics. Okay. I hope it is clear. In the next class, we go for a new topic, that is what we call capacitance. So probably 2 more classes required for me to finish this chapter. Okay. Yes.